Hello everybody. So today we will learn how to create a domino effect in Blender 3D from scratch. Alright, let's go ahead and delete everything in the scene and start from the scratch from the new scene. So here you can see there's nothing in this scene. Let's go ahead and add a new plane, scale it, and create a new curve, add curve, and go to the curve spirals and Archimedean. So if you don't see these type of options in the curves option, this is an add-on. I will add the name of the add-on, or let's see what is the name of the add-ons. Go here and go to the preferences and add-ons and search for curve. So extra curve objects is the add-on which is creating some new options in the curve section to display the more curves. So go make sure you have installed this add-on to get the options which you see on my side. So go ahead, add and curve, and then curve spirals and Archimedeans. We will turn it into 5 turns, and growth radius should be, you can check on your side which options suit you best. So make sure that the space between those curves is enough so that the dominoes do not collide with each other. So let's say we are going to make it like this. So growth radius is 1 meter. Okay, so now we are done with the curve, and now we need to go to the geometry nodes, select the curve, add new geometry, and instance on points. Which instance do we need? We need the cube, and now it has created the instances on each point, but you can see that is not something we want. So let's create these cubes to the dominoes shape. 0.15, 0.5. Now these looks like the dominoes, but these are below the plane. So let's add another node, translate instance 0.509. we have the z of 1 meter, but on the actual cube, so we can translate it to 0.5 to make sure that nothing is touching on the ground, but just to be to increase a little bit more so that no collision happens on the plane. Sometimes you see that some collisions are happening just like this. So just to avoid those collisions, we can go to increase a little bit more. So now we have nice dominoes, but the direction is not good. We need the each dominoes to be in the direction of the curve. Currently they are facing only in one direction. So as the curve moves, we need to change the direction of the. So let's go to the rotation and align rotation to vector, and we need to attach the vector to the curve tangent. And now just select the axis, correct axis, and you can see now our dominoes are facing each in a smooth way. Now what we need to do is, currently this point and this point is far more away, and when this will be uh, hitting by the previous, this will not, these tiles will not hit to each other. So let's resample the curve. We need to add the resample curve, and here we can specify the exact count, but we are not going to use this option, but instead we are going to use the length option. And here we will specify after how much distance we need a new point. So let's say after 0.7 meter we need a new instance of this cube. So now we have a nicely shaped domino length, whatever we call this. Now these are not actual these are actually the instances, but not the actual mesh on our viewport. As you can see here, the vertex 0, edge 0, face corner, everything is 0 0, but the instances is 157. So to convert them to the actual meshes, let's add another node, realize instances, and add this here after the instances. Now you can see the instances are 0, but actual geometry has been formed in our viewport. So this is pretty nice looking. Now let's create a copy just in case if something is changed. And from this one we can remove this. Oh, actually this is using the same geometry node. Let's see. We can create like click on here, and now this is using another geometry node and this is using another geometry node. So we can remove this one just to reduce some of the geometry from our scene. So this is our curve and these are the actual geometry which is available in our viewport. So now this is just for backup, if just in case something goes wrong, so we can save some time to and create a duplicate from this one. And now let's go and go to the layout and go to the edit mode. We cannot apply this one because we need to change the curve to actual mesh. So let's go ahead and click on this, go to object, convert, and select the mesh. And now we are having, currently this whole mesh is in the one object. So let's separate that each object into its individual object. Go to the edit mode, select all, click A, press A, and to select all, and press P and select by loose parts. And now we can see our outliner is showing that each object has been separated. So now this one is an individual object, and this one, all objects has been separated from each other. So now we have a lot of objects in our viewport. So at this point, the mm, origin point of all the objects is the same. So let's select all of them, deselect the plane, and then actually let's click on this one so we cannot select the plane. And now right click, set origin to geometry, and now each object has its own origin in its center. All right, now we can apply the rigid body physics. So press select all of them. As you can see, my plane has not been selected because I have disabled this selection from my outliner. So select all of them. Make sure that your active selection, whatever your active selection is, just check it that this one is our active selection. Go to physics and press on rigid body, and this will be the active rigid body. Let's say the mass is 1 kg and the shape is convex hull, or you can change it to the mesh, but convex hull is also good in this case. And now we will go to the surface dynamics, go to deactivation and select start deactivated, and now all of them objected are selected. Let's make sure that this object where we apply all these rigid body physics is active selection, and go to the object rigid body and copy from active. So now we have applied all of these settings to each and every object. Let's say we select one, this one, this one, this one, everyone is selected. So now let's go to this one and uncheck the deactivation, and now select our plane, go to that outliner and disable this inactive selection so we can select the plane, and press apply the rigid body physics and make it the passive. So this will be the passive and this will be the active. So now we have a very good domino. Let's play, and everything is in place. Now what we need to do is just to start this domino, go press this one, R to rotate and X to rotate on X axis. Oh sorry, you have to go to the frame 1 so that whatever you do changes should be uh, visible on the viewport display. And now sorry, now press the play button and our effect has started. So you can see this is messed up because our tiles are touching to others without completing the complete loop or mesh. So what we can do is just nothing. This is where it has happened. So now we need to restart this. All right, let's select this one, go to there. We were almost done with our tutorial, but something bad has happened that the distance between those tiles is not enough for them to give them this enough space. So let's start from this one again, where we copied our completed mesh. Let's create let's go and get this plane back in our region and create a copy of this. And here in the geometry nodes, what we can do is, we don't have the curve information, but we can reduce it to 0.5 meter of each tiles, and point two, and let's remove this. So now, because this is 0.5, we need to go to 0.2509, just to make sure that those are touching to the ground. And 0.5 is the total length from here to here, so we have to reduce it, where whenever this tile falls down, it should touch the other tile in the loop. So now let's add the realize instances object here, and now we have this one. Okay, so this time again start from the object, convert to mesh, and now this is a mesh. I need to set the origin, right click, set origin, origin to geometry, go to the edit mode, select all, press P by loose parts, and then object mode, select all, right click, set origin to geometry, and now all right, it's okay. Now we need to select all of them. It's selecting all those tiles, and apply the physics of rigid body. Oh, sorry, make sure that any one of them, is the active selection. Press on the rigid body, and now everything is fine. Press on the deactivation and start deactivated. Now go to object, rigid body, copy from active, and now make sure that this one, the deactivation, is not selected by default for the only the first one. And now if we play, nothing is happening, so we should go to this one, rotation and x-axis, press G and move a little like this one. So now press on the play, and now a very nice and smooth animation has been started. So you can see this is not completing because in our timeline we have only 250 frames. So to convert to make it more frames, we need to change the end frame. Now it is 2000, but still if we will start playing, we are going to stop our animation on the 250 frame. This is because in the caches, go to the scene setup, go to the rigid body world, and go to the cache, and make sure that this scene's length is active here. So this should match with the scene length. So now, before it, only the cache was allowed only 120 100 from 1 to 250 frames. Now we have made it to be available like till 2000 frames. So let's go on the first frame, press on bake. This will start baking the animation, or like it will go through each frame, and it will generate some responses into the cache, store something which is helpful for playing the animation in the cache area. So you can see that 839 40 60, these are the frames, and this is the size in the cache which is being stored. So we are having currently at the 109. Let's wait a little. And the baking is complete, and let's play this. And this looks very much smooth and satisfying. Okay, great. And there we go, we have completed the animation, and now this is very smooth. We will see this how to render this in another tutorial.